All right, class. What we're gonna do while I'm out today is we're still gonna work and do what we're supposed to do. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna help you guys out to get started with this worksheet we're doing today. So still focusing on domain and range. So what you're gonna do for these 6 problems is you're gonna find the domain and range of each graph and state whether it's a function or not. So let's remember that a domain is talking about your x values, your range is talking about your y values. Okay? And we know it's a function or not if we use the what? You're right, the vertical line test. Okay? So let's go ahead and get started. So for number 1, okay, you want to see if this is a function or not. So let's go ahead and see. Let's use the vertical line test. We draw our lines, draw our lines, draw our lines. Does it touch any place more than one? More than one time? No, it doesn't. So we know this is a what, guys? This is a function, okay? All right, so we know this is a function. So next thing we want to do after we find out it's a function, if it's a functional relation, we want to figure out the domain and range. So again, guys, the domain is talking about your x values. So we're talking about our x values on this one. So you want to look at the x-axis, okay, which is right here. And you want to start from left to right. So we want to count. And we know that these are basically arrows saying that it's still going to forever, okay? It's never stopping. So we know when we're talking about that, we're talking about what, guys? All something numbers. All real numbers, okay? So you want to write down all real, all right, numbers. That's pretty easy, right? Now we want to figure out our what? Range. So the range, guys, we know it's talking about our what values? Our y values. So the y is the y-axis here. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, but we still can get it, okay? You want to go down, start from the bottom, okay? We want to count from the bottom. We see that our graph is starting at where on the y-axis? It's starting right here, at this line here, okay? Now, we know that for the y-axis, this is actually the point 0, okay? So we want to come here, I'm going to draw my little 0 right here. So that's a 0, not a dot. So we know that's 0 right there, guys. So our line is starting from what point? Our y value is starting from what? Yes, 0. And it's going where? Up. What type of numbers are above 0? Are they greater than 0? Are they less than 0? And if you look at the number line in the back of the class, we know those numbers are greater than 0. So your range should be y is greater than 1. No, I'm sorry, 0. So, am I through? No, I'm not through, guys. What are we missing? Equal to. Okay? So your range is y is greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Good job. Now let's go to number 2. Still the same thing applies. It's not going. Don't go crazy because you see line looks like a wave. It's still the same thing applies, guys. Want to first figure out if it's a function or not. Now, if we want to figure out if it's a function, we have to use the what test? The vertical line test. Yes, we do. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we want to go ahead and draw vertical lines. Boom. Okay. It's touching it one time, touching it one time. So as you go through the whole vertical line test, you see that it's only touching the graph or the function only one time. So is this a function or not a function, guys? You're correct. This is a function. So let's go ahead and write that at the top. Okay? So this is a function. All right? So now we got to find the domain and the range. So let's go ahead and do that again. So the domain, let's put a D right here. Boom, boom. Now again, let's act like there are arrows at the end of this. That's how we're going to treat it. Okay, so we know once we see arrows, that means it's going to be what, guys? Where is it going? To infinity. Okay, and if it's going to infinity, that means what numbers are we including, guys? We're including what type of numbers? all real numbers. Good job. So that's negative numbers, that's positive numbers, decimals, fractions, whatever numbers you're thinking about, you including all of those numbers, okay? So we want to put all real numbers, okay? All right, good job on that one. Now we want to go to our range, okay? So let's knock out our range. Range is talking about what values, guys? Our Y values. Now, we got something a little different because it's not like the same as number one, okay? And number two, we actually have a kind of our range is only between two values now, okay? It's not going forever in this one. So if you're going from the Y-axis, okay, and you're going, you're seeing where your graph is starting at. Where's your graph starting at, guys? It's starting at, what point is that? That point is -2. So let's draw a yellow line right here. And where's the line graph also stopping at? +2. So this is what we're going to use, what we talked about last week, guys, a compound inequality. Okay? All right? So I'm going to go on the side and do this real quick, okay? So we know all my Y values are what? Are they greater than -2 or less than -2? All my Y values would be what? Greater than -2, right? Okay? Put that -2 in there. All right? And I know all my Y values would be greater than or less than +2. Yes, they will be less than or equal to +2. Okay? So now we want to bring both of these together because this is a continuous line. You have no separation in it, right? So we want to go ahead and write, all right, remember, take our smallest number first, which is -2. And we know -2 and Y here. So Y is greater than -2, so we're going to put that there. And then we know Y is also what? Less than or equal to +2. Okay? So guys, this is how we do number 1 and number 2. You guys should be able to knock out 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'll show you the answers in a couple minutes, okay? All right, good luck, and I know you guys can do it. Keep working hard, guys. Keep working hard.